Maybe on that tap alone, we won't have any businesses. Just saying.
Good. Well, we'll have mom and pop shops, which is
Well, we'll
nice.
have businesses in higher consciousness, which is another thing that we are actively seeking to promote here. But the idea that business is all about taking as much as possible at the expense of everyone else is the complete antithesis of what we're here to do. So if you're in business and that is your fundamental paradigm, then you're on the wrong side of history and you will be run out of business. So make the change.
I'm wondering if there's a statistic to how many big businesses run new intentions out of commission. If there's probably isn't any kind of percentage, but I bet it's really high.
Are you really saying that there are some businesses that start up and try to do the right thing, but because of that, they run out of town themselves by, the corrupt? Is that what you're saying or asking?
Yeah, not only businesses, but any kind of intention on any level. It's like you get the energy up to like do something, you're knocked down by those who are jealous or intimidated. Imagine if that narrative could shift where everyone could help each other up and create the synergy of everyone building each other up. That's the intention I hold.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. In fact, that is the intention that we all hold. And just to answer your question, I think the proportion or the propensity for that to happen, what you just said, is pretty high. And can I just a quick diversion? One of the things that derails things is when the capital markets and private equity gets involved in business and ethical business. And then as soon as money gets involved and money of a particular form, then all of a sudden it's very hard to work against the corrupt paradigm. So there's that.
Well, here's the thing in higher consciousness, money is only a concept of energy. In higher consciousness, um, money is only one of forms of providence. There's health, there's enthusiasm, there's incentive, there's passion, there's there's all these other things that should be taken into account that aren't right now.
Right, and the point and the conversation we're having here is that at the moment, big business doesn't value any other form of abundance, and so they're fixated on a particular form, money, and the accumulation of wealth at the expense of everyone else, and that's what's going to change, and that's what we're here to do.
But they say they're not and they act like they don't. But then when they look for new employees fresh out of college, they're looking for those geniuses, those fresh faces, those ones with the drive and vigor. So they are looking for those other forms of abundance. And then they meddle those people down into just being about the money and they take away their their it factor, right?
Absolutely, and we've done various podcasts on this topic. Maybe today is not the right day for that detailed conversation, though.
No, I know, but it just comes to mind that all these things that we've addressed in the past are accumulation of what we're doing now. So this isn't our first time around with these issues. These are important things.
100%. Actually, if you want to know the truth, Jen, you and I and others on the call have been addressing these issues from every angle. We've basically addressed pretty much every issue of significance from every angle imaginable. And this is not the first time we're addressing these issues. And then let's just put it that way. And so there's this whole back catalog of content out there. So if you want to see the progression of these layering of ideas, um, go and have a look at all of the content that's out there. It's all in front of you. Certainly. I hope people get a sense of the importance of these taps. So when you think about it, or at least when I think about it, at the heart of all of the shift to the new paradigm is 8 billion individuals locking in on their purpose and being grounded and centered in their purpose, and making that purpose an altruistic purpose, a noble intent, if you like, and of service outflow, and then living in a perpetual state of gratitude while you do that. Simple.
Absolutely. And the beauty of doing this, like this, the way we do it is most humans are distracted by outer minutia. And so we use the portals that we do as a way to flag down their higher self who is desperate for them to shift. All humans are praying for a better way. Humans are desperate to connect to their higher self. So here we're sending them a lifeline. And oh, by the way, it doesn't matter if the conscious human is connected to this right now. They may not be connected to this right now. It may seem ridiculous to them, but their higher self is being fed. And the more that we do this, the more individuals of the collective are resonating with what we do until it becomes mainstream. It's inevitable, actually.
Well, it is inevitable. And that's why we do what we do to accelerate that process.
You know, the only true joy out there is in tapping into the service and to be in that pocket of service. So this, you guys doing this to encourage others to find that sweet spot of serving in higher purpose is a main way for you to serve humanity. And it must make you feel good about your lives. If you go away from this life and you don't do anything else in this lifetime but these taps, you have served humanity well. And that's a correlation with Anzac Day. So it's almost like someone who served in the military to protect freedom is similar to those of us who are doing these taps now to protect freedom and higher consciousness.
It's actually a good thought. Thank you for
Peter.
Drawing that connection. But the thing is that at the end of the day, it is all about service, and find your form of it. Simple. So those in the military find their form of service. At least I hope they're serving for a just and noble cause. That's kind of one thing. But they've found their form of service, and everyone has an obligation to find their individual form of service, uplifting all of humanity in whatever way they are able to. And by the way, don't confuse that with socialism. It is not the.
No.
I don't know why Americans are so shit scared of some kind of nefarious socialist agenda. I kind of do, but
Yeah.
it's time to get beyond that. And the thing is that 8 billion people finding purpose, outflowing in service is it is the path forward. It is not a socialist agenda. Get on board.
Okay, so that fear of socialism is a fear that was infused in their psyche on the astral realm. What happens when people are sleeping? A lot of people are still susceptible to psychic intrusions and manipulations. I do my best to find them, and we do taps to release those. But dissipating the psychic coercion that's happening, socialism was one of them, and hopefully the work we've been doing is dissipating that.
If you like this content and you appreciate the work that we're doing to uplift all of humanity and to help heal your body, mind, and soul, please consider becoming a Jenuine Healing premium content subscriber. Simply jump onto the Jenuine Healing website, jenuinehealing.com with a J, and click on the purchase button on the top menu. Scroll down, there's a premium content option. Click on that, sign up. It's a simple monthly plan for $20 a month, and you will have access to all of the premium content that we put up on the Jenuine Healing website. We look forward to catching you next time, and bye for now.